Hello everyone, so today I'm going to be doing Nancy Drew and the Shadow at the Water's Edge, and we'll do that for I'm going to say 2 streams, maybe 3 for this one. It's a bit of a longer one, but here we go.
After a string of tough mysteries, I've decided it's time to take a break to do a little sightseeing. I'm taking P.G. Krollmeister up on his offer to send me to his favorite ryokan, or traditional inn, in Kyoto, Japan. I'll spend the days teaching English, and my nights with Bess and George, exploring the sights, fashion, history, and nightlife of downtown Kyoto. From what I hear, the inn I'm staying at is known as one of the scariest places in the city. I'm not sure why people say that. I might have to poke around a little to see what's really going on at the Ryokan Hiei.
So let's head on over to Kyoto. Want that task list?
Hi, I have a reservation under Nancy Drew.
Do you believe me now? Oba-san, it only fell. It did not. You know better. I'm very sorry. She's just a little upset. She does not want her here. Tell her to go. Now.
What was that about? Why is she upset?
Please, don't worry about that. Here, this is your room key.
Thanks.
Your room is on the 2nd floor. I've already had your bag sent up. Please, my name's Miwako. Come to me if there's anything you need.
Okay.
Is that a robotic cat?
Yeah, Suki! Isn't she the greatest? Rentaro got her for me. I've wanted my own pet cat for forever, but I can't have one at the ryokan. I came into work one day, and there she was, right next to the sweetest note from Rentaro.
I've never seen a robotic cat before. What does it do?
She's not on it. She's Suki. It's okay, she didn't mean it. Actually, she doesn't really do much, mainly sits. But, oh wait, I just learned something neat. Suki, tate.
Oh, that's great.
That's all I remember right now, but she can do a lot more. I should figure out what the rest of the commands are, come to think of it. Although, to be honest, it's a little more believable if she just does what she wants.
Your grandmother seemed very upset about the portrait breaking.
It's no big deal. She thinks it's a bad sign that the portrait fell from the wall.
Why is that?
It's a very special portrait. It's one of the 2 remaining images of my mother, and it was taken shortly before. It's one of my grandmother's favorite portraits.
What is a ryokan?
A ryokan is almost exactly like a hotel or spa, but far more traditional. This ryokan has been in my family for generations, passed down from mother to oldest daughter in order to preserve the traditional style, the food, the caretaking. Every little detail is as it would have been generations ago.
How long has the ryokan been in your family?
A very long time. My grandmother says it has been passed down since the early 1700s.
So one day you'll pass this place on to your daughter? That must be very nice.
Well, I'm the younger daughter. My older sister Yumi will be the one to take over the ryokan.
Oh.
My grandmother's offering a few classes in traditional arts. She's in room 18 at the end of the hall.
Definitely want to check those out.
What happened to your mother?
I shouldn't bother you with our problems, Nancy. Please, it is very nice outside, a perfect time to relax and enjoy your surroundings.
Oh, didn't mean to start spinning, but there we go. So who have we got here? We've got Toru, Williams, Schneider, Mueller, Mura, and Hiragana. Okay. So it's the 5 yes sets, because they'll either be myself, an individual, or the entire room will be under their main name.
Nancy, please be careful. There's too much broken glass.
Okay, what's in the main room? Oh, famous Kyoto gardens. The rock garden of Ryanji. Nestled in the northwest corner of Kyoto sits Ryanji, the temple of the peaceful dragon. It is here visitors can rest and contemplate the mystery of one of the most famous Zen rock gardens in the world. The collection of 15 irregular stones on the bed of gravel that make up the garden is not only a World Heritage Site, but it is considered by some to be one of the greatest masterpieces of Japanese culture. The art of Kareem Tsui, dry landscape gardens, is filled with symbolism, but the beginner can gain a better appreciation of the garden with a little knowledge. There are 5 basic stone types that are used as single stones or in combinations to give different meanings to each arrangement. The Reisho Seki, or the soul stone, the low vertical stone with its wide base and tapered top. This upright stone is typically placed prominently in the arrangement. Or the Taido Seki, the body stone, the tall vertical stone, only slightly bigger at the base than the top, is the tallest stone in the group. It is never placed in front of an arrangement. The Shintai Seki, or the heart stone, the flat stone is similar in appearance to a stepping stone. It is traditionally used as a central harmonizing feature in the arrangement. The Shigo Seki, the branching stone, the arching stone, is the only stone with a flat top wider than its base. It ties the vertical and horizontal stones together. The Kikyaku Seki stone, or the ox stone, the reclining stone, neither as low as the heart stone nor as tall as the branching stone, with one end higher than the other, generally used as a unifying element in the foreground of the arrangement. Once the rocks are placed in the desired arrangement on the gravel, rakes are used to create lines in the gravel symbolizing water. The completed Kare-san-sui is then ready for the viewer's contemplation. Okay, also we have a heath.
Stay back, please. That's very dangerous.
Okay. Okay, so we just have this book, The Ghost Stories of Japan, Volume 3. Okay, only this one page. The Okikyu and the 9 Plates. Near the gates of Himeji Castle is an ancient well said to be haunted by a ghost of a heartbroken woman named Okikyu. Before her death, Okikyu was a beautiful servant who worked for the respected samurai. The samurai quickly fell in love with Okikyu, but she had no interest in her rich and powerful employer. The samurai soon grew tired of Okikyu's spurning of his advances and concocted a plan to win her affections. Okikyu was tricked into believing that she had broken one of the samurai's 10 prize plates. Fearing for her life, Okikyu told the samurai what had happened, begging for his mercy and forgiveness. The samurai agreed to spare her life in exchange for her love. When Okikyu refused, she was thrown into the Himeji Castle well to drown. According to legend, Okikyu's betrayal was so great and her grief so strong that her spirit cannot leave the dark confines of the well, at least not during the day. At night, it's said that her spirit springs forth from the well and calls out, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 before being pulled back down the well by an unseen force. The spirit's counting has led many to believe that Okiku is forever trapped in that dreadful moment when she discovered the samurai's missing plate, knowing that its absence would cost her life. Her life. Some say Okiku's ghost was finally released from the well when a neighbour loudly called out 10 during her nightly haunting. Other less optimistic tellings say that her spirit is still trapped within the well, forever living out of the terrible last moments of her betrayal. Okay, is that the first one? That's the Genkan and all its slippers. We'll look outside later. So we have one hallway, garden area. We'll start with the garden. Oh, phone call.
Hello.
Nancy, you made it! How was your ride?
It was pretty good.
I love Japan. I have done so much shopping, and George's convention is crazy. I've never seen so many people. It's totally sold out.
You sound pretty excited.
Well, yeah. Kinda hard not to be here. I don't even know where to start. Have you ever had mochi? It's a revelation, Nancy. I'm not even kidding. And the shopping.
Conference me in already.
Oh, yeah. Did that do it? No? Okay.
No, hit the... No, the...
You do it then.
We all on?
Yes.
Yep. Why is that so hard?
It so isn't.
Anyway, what's your story? What are you up to? You coming over?
I'm still getting settled in, but I'll be out to see you guys soon.
How's the... whatever it is you're staying at?
Ryokan. It's great. A little strange, though. When I was checking in, a picture fell off the wall, and everyone was really weird about it.
Huh. Oh no, our train's going to be here in a sec. Gotta go.
See you, Nancy.
Bye.
Bye. Okay, we'll head this way first. Oh, there's a little froggy. A little lantern in the lake, or the pond. Oh, we've got a cute little bridge. Oh, and a deer stalker. We'll look full at what we're hearing, Tip. Hey! Okay. So... There's... Oh, this leads us back into the hallway. Cool, cool. Got a little shed and a bridge in here. Got a sakura tree. Oh, we can... Ah, okay, so we can cross to the other side from here, like a shortcut. Okay, some bamboo. Okay, let's check out the shed. We cannot check out the shed. Okay, so we have a bunch of rooms. We are room 24. We're room 24. We have cultural rooms between 7 and 10:30, and it is 8:30.
Nancy-san, please sit. It is a pleasure to meet you properly. I am sorry for the way I behaved when you first arrived. It was very impolite. Please forgive me.
Of course, don't worry. It's nice to meet you as well.
That is very kind of you to say, but I must always worry about the guests who stay with us, especially now.
What do you mean, especially now?
Are you here for a lesson today?
Yeah, give me a lesson. But first, what?
A lesson?
I offer lesson in traditional arts to anyone interested in learning. I have much to show you.
Happy to learn, but any questions?
Actually, I'd rather ask you a few questions about the Ryokan.
Yes, we will get to that. But first, today you will be learning katakana. To the outsider, katakana always looks far more difficult to learn than it is. You just need to be patient, and you need to learn to see more than you are used to seeing. There is a book to help in the chest. Practice until it looks like your name, Nancy, not just some lines.
What do you mean?
Although there are many Nancys in the world, your name belongs to only you. It has always been yours. You must try until what you see on the paper is not just a word. It is you.
Okay. We can... No? See. Okay. I'm going to look at this book before I type that out. Oh, it is this one. And all the rest are locked for now. Okay, writing the Japanese language involves the use of two separate syllabaries. There. Syllabaries. Hiragana and Katakana. Consisting of 46 symbols in both syllabaries, each character represents a complete syllable instead of a single letter. The Hiragana syllabary is mainly used for words and for the word endings, while Katakana is mainly used to write foreign loan words and names. In addition to Hiragana and Katakana, a third group of characters known as kanji are also used. In kanji, each character represents a different meaning, and there are thousands of these characters. It is a lengthy undertaking, and elementary students are given until the end of 6th grade to learn the 1006 basic characters. The following charts contain the characters for both the Hiragana and Katakana syllabaries. Japanese is typically written vertically from right to left, but can also be written horizontally left to right. True. Most forms, or when you're just writing out in a workbook, will just be the horizontally left to right, but then all books and newspapers you'll read will have the vertically, and that one's much more common. Okay, so we have our Hiragana. I'm not going to read all these out, but I find some of these symbols quite confusing. I constantly confuse the ho and the ha, and then the all the R syllabary ones, confuse those as well as the M's, but I'm hoping to get those on track. The katakana. So we have meh. Yeah, so it is written wrong on the Nancy. So hold on, where is the stage? Meh and that. Yeah, so these two are very similar, and I don't like that. Although I think this one's actually different. I don't think these are all correct. I'm gonna have 2 seconds. I'm gonna get my textbook. Okay, I'm back. I'm putting my headphones in. Yeah, the knot is much more curved than what it's showing in this, but oh well. Okay, let's get starting with trying to write it
Hello,
out.
Nancy-san.
Okay, I'll finish it in a minute.
I love the gardens. Do you take care of them?
Yes, of course. I sleep here, but my home is out there in the gardens. Even when the whole earth is covered in snow, I am happiest there, waiting for the first flowers to break through the frost. Do yourself a favor, Nancy-san. Find a small piece of earth that begs to be made perfect, and do whatever it asks of you. You will thank me.
The Ryokan seems very important to you.
The world around has become a million different things since I was a girl. And I do not have to tell you that many changes have not been so good. But in here, the world does not change.
Why do you want Yumi to take over the Ryokan?
It is tradition.
Any other reason?
I am used to this question. Tradition is very often made fun of or ignored. But tradition is how we know ourselves, Nancy-san. The traditions of your family are how you know yourself. Tradition is a burden in many ways. I understand this. But imagine not knowing who you are or where you come from. It would be very lonely, I think.
Have you always lived at the Ryokan?
Since I was born,
Have you ever left?
I have. But I never found anywhere I wanted to be as much as here.
Okay, we'll start calligraphy again.
I'd like to try calligraphy again.
Okay, let's see how we go. So we'll start with the na.
That's not how it's supposed to
Oh
look.
my word.
I should try again.
I'll just be half an hour trying to write my name out. So that's the na. N or N.
It is a name, but it is not your name. Try again.
It's fine. Oh my word. You don't have... Yeah. I mean, I don't like this little... It's not a puzzle. Mini game, I guess. It's, You have to be very exact.
Nope, that
Yeah.
doesn't look right. Better start again.
But, thankfully, if you ever try... yourself, like I admit I haven't done calligraphy before, but just when it comes to trying to write your name out, so you don't need to be exact in how you do it. Just have oh, my voice is going a bit funny. Oh well. You just have someone just look at it once you're done, and if they can still read it, you're perfect. So the only ones you'd really have a bit of struggle with are the ones like with N and So. They look identical to this, so this one's N, but then if it's more, this line is more inflected, then it's So. And I know when I spell that one out, I get the two mixed up sometimes. Okay, that's Shita. That one's the continuation to make the she longer. Now, oh, okay, she accepted it, I'll take it. And that's To, as it currently is. Now it's Do. Okay, I'm flexing my fingers. I don't want to mess it up in the long one. And that's rude.
Very well done,
thank
Nancy.
you.
This is the best I've ever seen from a new student. I knew you could do this well. Leave this to dry, and I'll have it brought to your room to remind you of your success.
Why, thank you.
Have you always offered classes?
No, it is new. We have developed a reputation, and for many years I've wanted to teach our guests.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Goodbye.
Okay. We came in from that way. So these are all rooms. 17? 16. Okay, so these are all like the teens. It's back to the main room. I'll have stairs. Okay, so these are the 30s. Ah, 1, 2, 3, 7. Oh, we have. So this is the bathroom. This one. I can't read this one, but it's for the men.
Whoa, hang on. Men only right now.
What do you mean?
The baths. The blue banner means the baths are for men. The red banner means women only. I don't know why we don't mention this at the front desk. This is useful information. Anyway, I'm Rentaro. I'm out in the garden if you need anything. Whoops! Oh! Ow, that hurt.
Me stepping into my bathroom every day. Mine's on a raised platform. It takes out most of my foot every day. Okay, so up here is the teens. So 21, 20. So 3, 2, no 3, 1, 24. Here we go. Need you. Let's go in. Okay, so we've got the little table out. Oh, we've got a little balcony. Oh, our name's already out. A lot neater than what I did. What have we got in here? Ah, our futon. Oh, our suitcases. Our Nihongo dictionary. Our Fasca instead of our Suica card. Okay, and down here, some Ikebana flower arrangement.
If I have something to send, this might come in handy.
Okay, so I have to send something at some point. Okay, welcome to the Ryokan Hiei, where you will experience traditional Japanese culture and hospitality at its finest. Located near the base of the majestic Mount Hiei, our ryokan has been offering a relaxing stay to guests since the 1700s. Ease away the day's travel with a calming soak in the hot springs bath. The entrance is located on the first floor hallway across from the room number 7, with open times changing daily for men and women. Showers for pre-washing and towels are available in the baths. For guests wishing to visit more of Kyoto, the local Misawa station offers rail access to downtown. Popular tourist sites include the Pachinko Parlor at Kure or the Exposition Center, currently hosting the Technology of Tomorrow Expo at Matsue. It is suggested that guests pre-purchase their fast car train tickets before arriving at the Ryokan. Our front desk is open from 7 a.m. to 1 a.m. daily to help with any additional needs. Thank you for choosing Ryokan here. Welcome home. Cool. And what's in our little box? Oh, all our teaching stuff. Our black kuro, neko, aka. Was quite handy. The Japan Teacher Exchange. It's probably their mix on the JET program. Okay, so we have Japan changed my life. By the end of the program, I'd learned so much more than I ever dreamed. Dear teacher, thank you for teaching us English. You were the best teacher ever. We'll miss you. Your students from class 9. Experience the excitement of living abroad and make a difference as a teacher's aide in Japan. Your team with a certified instructor to teach English to grade school children during the day, leaving your evenings free to explore and discover Japan. Programs are available to visiting students during the summer months, with 20 hours in the classroom per week. Responsibilities including preparing lessons, grading writing assignments, and helping the children practice their conversational skills. Make a difference and new friends that will last a lifetime. The duration of the program is 2 weeks, 3 to 4 weeks, and 5 to 8 weeks. School ages K to 5th grade levels, June 1st to September 5th. Cool. Students. We have Kenta M, who like 7, likes dinosaurs, robots, playing tag with brothers and friends. So that's why he's got a dinosaur symbol. He is energetic and a bit difficult to get focused at times. He's extremely curious about the inner workings of electronics. Keep a close eye on anything you don't want disassembled. Very helpful, can be given additional classroom chores and errands when he's having difficulty staying in his seat. Fumiko T is 7, reading, cats and cooking with her mom. Very bright and self-reliant, would consider advancing her to the next grade level, but socially is very reserved and somewhat delayed. Needs more interaction with her peers and help coming out of her shell. Additional challenges can be assigned to her. We have Aimi, who is 7. She likes riding her bike, playing with her sister and friends, dolls and puzzles. Deliberately split her and her twin sister into different classes as they were relying too much on each other, with Kano taking charge and making decisions. Ami is starting to stand on her own but may need additional encouragement to further flourish. Some difficulties with grammar. We have Sakura, who is 7, enjoys playing by the seaside cliffs, very interested in wells. Okay. Very quiet and prone to making cryptic statements that the other children find disturbing. A self-directed learner, she knows more about historic Japan than most, although she does seem more overly fixated on some of the more morbid chapters of history. Often needs to be redirected towards appropriate classroom discussion. Okay. And Takeo is 7. He likes marine animals, visiting the seashore with family. Very distractible, seemingly intelligent but perpetually unfocused. Loses everything and has yet to turn in an assignment on time. Does excellent work when and if he remembers to hand it in, and tends to get lost easily and is often late to class. Okay. What's your name?
Time to grade some papers.
Ah, so we grade them. Cool. We'll start with that. We have I is Sakura. We is Japanese. I is 7. I has black hair. Okay. This is fairly similar to what I have to do with my kids. My students, I mean. I call them my kids, but they're just my students. Ami, my name is Ami. I are Japan. I is 7. My eyes is brown. one of the teachers I help, she has these really cute Studio Ghibli stamps. So whenever we mark off the homework, we use those. I think they're adorable. Fumiko. I am Fumiko. I am Japanese. I am 7. I have black hair. Outstanding. My name's Kenta. Mine's Japanese. 7 I am. Eyes be brown. Love that. And then Tego. I have blue hair. I believe it. Eyes 10. My name is Taiko. Okay. There we go. Okay, let's see if we can keep exploring. Let's see if we can check out the shed outside. Ooh.
Hi again. I'm Rentaro. It's nice to meet you officially. So, you're still here. That's surprising.
I'm Nancy. What do you mean, surprising?
Did I say that? Whoops. So, you're American. From New York City?
No, a place called River Heights. It's in...
Oh, okay. That's one of the places I always wanted to go. I mean, you'd have to be crazy to live there, but on the other hand, you'd have to be crazy not to live there. It's one of those, unwinnables.
Do you work here?
Technically, it's a complicated thing we've got going on. I'm sort of like the handyman around here. So, should I bother getting to know you, or are you going to be like all of the rest?
What do all of the rest do?
Get spooked in the middle of the night? Pack their bags and never come back? Even the ones who come to see the ghosts. Oh, I shouldn't be telling you this. Oh, well, already did. If you see Takaido, this conversation never happened.
Ghosts? What ghosts?
We got one of those, haunted hotspot guides. So we get a lot of ghost hunters here. And that's always a treat, because they're totally not obnoxious.
So, people think this place is haunted?
Well, some people think this place is haunted. Kind of like some people think the moon landing was faked, and some people like adult contemporary. Don't be one of those people. You like puzzles?
I guess you could say that.
Immensely.
I figured. You're going to love this. It's called a nonogram.
What's that?
It's just another example of how awesome numbers are. Letters are cool and all, but they just make words. I mean, get with the game, letters. Numbers, on the other hand, get a few handfuls of those, and you can make a bridge, or send a person into space, or express the makeup of our genetic code, or they can make a neat picture.
Okay.
Take a look in here. All you need to do is look this over and finish the pattern. And when you're done, picture! Here, take this. Give it a shot. Bring it back when you're done, and I'll give you something better.
Sure.
And there are instructions inside in case you get stuck.
Cool, cool.
Can you tell me anything about Takai?
She can be a little tough, but she's really wonderful. She works herself way too hard, though. I wish I could get her to just relax a little. But you can't tell her to do anything unless you want a lecture back in return.
I take it you've been lectured by Takai before.
I pretty much grew up here, and believe it or not, I was not always the saint you see standing before you. So, I've been on the sad end of a lecture or two. But I've overheard more. Always hilarious when they're not directed at you.
Miwako seems to really like Suki.
I know, which is great, because that girl is hard to buy for. And it's been sort of a gift-heavy year. Either she's getting crazy sensitive or I'm becoming a huge jerk. Hard to say. It's definitely one or both of those things.
What are you building there?
Oh, this. This is the Rentaro 4000. I sort of got inspired by Suki.
What's it going to be?
A robotic dog. Or maybe just a robotic dog's leg. I'll be honest, I had no idea how long these things take to build. But then again, a dog's leg is not a good gift without the rest of the dog. Sort of borders on creepy, come to think of it.
A little.
Is it going to be a gift for Miwako?
Oh, definitely. She's my robotic muse. But she's not robotic. Not that you'd think she is. And this is why I work with machines. They're totally oblivious to awkwardness.
I'll let you get back to work.
Bye!
Okay, let's look at this monogram he's given us. Okay, using the number clues, fill in the blocks to create a picture. Numbers represent a group of filled in blocks. In rows or columns with multiple numbers, the groups appear on the grid in the order listed. Start with large numbers and go down. Okie dokie. So fill in the 4 lots of the 5. These aren't filling.
I did it!
Cool, cool, cool. How's that?
Hello.
I'm Kyoto.
I finished the Runograms puzzle.
Awesome! Nice job! What do you think?
I loved it.
I've got something better. You know it, you love it. The original Sudoku!
Hell yeah.
Oh, I've played that before.
Great, great! I've got some good ones for you here. Here you go. Bring it back if you want more.
Oh, I can get more puzzles all up. Okay.
I'm back for more Runograms.
Here you go.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Bye.
Okay, we'll go to the Sudoku first. And then we should have unlocked all of them by the time this one's all set. So we'll have 1. Okay, can't guess these just yet. Okay, I'll try the 4s out and see how they go. Oh, that's one number all set. 5s. Okay, 6 is next. Seven. Okay, we can't do this row for the 7th just yet. Cool, cool. 8. Didn't click that. 9. Okay, cool. So now we can just finish off each one. So this one is missing 2. 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. This one's missing 7. Oh, that didn't work. We have 1, 2, 3, and 7.
I did it!
There we go. And that's,
Hello.
I finished up the Sudoku.
that's
Way to
unlocked
go!
the last one.
So, what do you think?
I loved it.
I've got one last type of puzzle to show you. This is one of my favorites, Renograms. It's all about creating an unbroken string of numbers. Tell me what you think when you're done. Here you go.
Can I have another Sudoku puzzle?
Here you go.
Cool, cool.
I'll let you get back to work.
Peace out.
Peace out. Okay, we'll do this one, and then we'll go talk to Miwako again. Okay. So we have first one's 1 and then 4. So I guess the shortest route would be these two. Then 5 and 6. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 17, 18, and we need 19 and 20. So it's a bit difficult because I could do either of these two for the 19 and then either of these two for the 20. We'll skip forward to 25 for now. 24, 25. Then 26, 27, 28, 29. Then we could have it 30, 31, 32. So 32's got to be here no matter what. We can have it so 35 shoots back up here. 39, 40, 41, 2, 3, 4, 47's over here. Okay, we'll go back to 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 30, and 31.
I did it!
There we go. Okay, let's go talk to Miwako.
What's going on? I should listen in.
The strange sounds, and the pounding, and the screaming at all hours of the night, waking up my family, scaring the children half to death. If you ask me, this ryokan needs to be closed down immediately.
I'm very sorry.
Sorry changes nothing. This is unacceptable. I want my money back, and I want a car sent immediately to take us anywhere else.
So they're losing their guests. Oh, now it's only down to me and the Williams.
Oh, hello, Nancy-san.
That guest seemed pretty upset.
Oh, it's nothing to worry about. Trust me. I see a lot at this desk, and one thing never changes. Travel is disorienting. It's so very easy to get upset when you're far from home. That's why we try to make things as comfortable as possible.
What has been scaring the guests away?
Oh, nothing. They're not scared. It's something else. Can I help you with anything?
I met Rentaro. Who is he?
Oh, Rentaro? He's my boyfriend. He's also handyman around here.
Have you two been dating long?
I'm sorry. I should really get back to my paperwork. But if you have any questions about the ryokan, please don't hesitate to ask.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Bye.
Okay.
Check. Did that.
Ah, so I need to give it back to
Did that.
Dada. Okay.
Did that. That's done. That's done. Check. Can't check that off yet. Did that.
Find my room. The most essential task, you know, of staying in a hotel.
Hello?
Do you believe that the ryokan is haunted?
I don't believe that anything is haunted. Ghosts are just what happens when guilty people let their imaginations run wild.
Okay.
What do you mean?
Think about it. Why do ghosts always want revenge? They're what people invent when they feel guilty. If that wasn't the case, then ghosts would want all sorts of things. But no, they always want revenge.
I finished up the Renograms puzzle.
Great! I knew you would! Don't tell the other puzzles, but this is my favorite.
Is that the portrait from the lobby?
Yeah, I'm reframing it. Although it's way harder to do than I thought it would be. It's got a really strange backing.
Would you like some help?
Have at it! This thing is officially making me nuts. The tools you'll need are near the frame.
Okay. Can't pick them up, so just the
It looks like I need to find a way to make sure none of the wires are crossing.
Okie dokie. We'll probably want the ones with the most connection points near the middle. And then we can just work around them. This is just going to be a lot of sorting. Yeah, I'll do that for now. Oh. Here we go.
I got the backing off the portrait.
Nice
Made a triangle
job.
too. Certificate of spiritual removal.
What's this?
This is to certify that the Ryokan here has been cleansed of all malevolent, disruptive, or mischievous spirits, and upon this day is considered fit only for human habitation. Spiritual attention has been paid to all spaces under beds and within closets. These areas have been certified 100% permanently ghost-free, even during the middle of the night. It has been duly noted and added to the public record that all spirits previously dwelling in said domicile are now considered non-resistant and shall behave themselves accordingly. At no point will the aforementioned spirits, ghosts, or lurking spectres be allowed to return to their previous places of residence without the express written permission of all human residents in the residence. By Savannah Woodham, paranormal expert. They are A-OK. Okay.
I should hold on to this article.
We have... yesterday? The San. Okay, I can't read her name. Someone who is 15 years old? Okay. Her mother? No, go. Sume. Kasumi-san, who is 42. Ah, so that would be her mother. That's pretty much the most of what I'll be able to read out of that, most likely. So let's take it and go. What's he got to say about it?
Hey!
Do you know anything about the certificate behind the portrait? Who's Savannah Woodham?
She was an investigator. She helped out with the investigation after Kasumi died.
An investigator? This certificate seems a little less than official.
She was more of a paranormal investigator. I don't really believe in that stuff personally, but Takai wanted her here.
Why did Takai want a paranormal investigator?
I've known Takai since I was a kid. And let me tell you this from experience. It is impossible to guess what she's thinking or why she does what she does.
What do you mean?
Oh, I'm sure you'll find out.
Just having a drink? My bad.
Do you know what's scaring the guests away?
City superstitions. I don't get it. We have ghost hunters who come here to find ghosts, and if they think they found something, they get all panicked and run away.
I finished another Renograms puzzle.
Here you go.
Can you translate
Can
it?
you translate this for me?
Sure. No. Put this back where you got it.
Okay.
Did that. Did that.
Find a way to get this article translated. Pretty much. Okay, let's see if we can... Well, I'll call Bess and George. I'll start there.
Hi!
Hello!
How's the expo going, George?
It's crazy. I've never seen so many clever people in one space. I'm definitely dealing with a little bit of that small fish, large pond anxiety. I'm still trying to get tickets for you, but it's not looking good.
That's okay. Thanks for trying. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay, there's that one. So we can go and try and check some places out. So we have Pachinko Parlor and the Exposition Center. All I know is that one says cure, and I don't know what any of the rest means. Okay, we have Nihongo, train, no parking, Kyoto, and no smoking. Don't think that's how you say Kyoto, but okay. So then this says Densha. Cool, cool. Let's go! Mizawa. Nagoya. Okay. Fuji, Aomori, Tokyo. Okay, so these are definitely all mixed up. So which ones do I need? Chiba's where Disney is, just a heads up. anyone able to eventually visit Japan this year? I think they're letting tourists back in June. That's Disney, go to Chiba. Narita. Right, so we've got Kure there, that is the pachinko parlor. And then the, oh here, Matsu, go here first. Tsui, Nagoya. How do we get there? Okay, I think I have the route planned out. We're about to find out. So Otsu, we'll head up to Tokyo. Then Katsuta, Toyama, Fuji, Hakone. Oh, I don't remember this one. Oh, I was trying to get to Seto. Oh no, we can go to Fuji. Fuji works. And then Iga. Hello, Pocket Potato. How are you doing? Long time no see. Oh, we have a...
Interesting. This looks important. I'd better hang on to it.
Congratulations on purchasing your new Japanese puzzle box. Puzzle boxes have been bewildering buyers since the late Edo period over 100 years ago. These beautifully crafted boxes are both a joy to look at and a challenge to solve, traditionally requiring 4 to 66 moves before the lid can be removed. To open, pieces of the box are slid in a specific sequence, unlocking hidden catches after correct moves. Once the sequence is complete, the lid will open, revealing the hidden compartment within. This puzzle box has sliding sections along the side only. Pieces may or may not be movable depending on which hidden catches are still locked. It takes 6 moves to open the lid. Okay. Pocket Potato, pretty good. You? Yes, I've been pretty good. Just working and chores. So nothing interesting, I'm afraid. This is the Suki cat. Virtual Meow. Pocket Potato, I feel that. Yeah. Think, oh, I'll have a busy this week. Nah, just work and chores. The day-to-day grind. Hands. Lifelike movement, real cat noises, programmable commands, teach your cat to sit, stay, guard, meow, groom and more. Allergy-free and no shedding. What mood is your cat in? greetings. Happy, sad, angry, and curious. Okay. Expo tickets sold out.
I need a dictionary to translate that.
So do I. I think that last one can be Naka. Closed. Okay. Okay, so some bentos. 5, 5, 6, 7, 6, 7, 7. Okay. Okay, let's go check out that pachinko parlor. We'll go to Kobe. Miyazaki. Sakai. And Kyoto. There we go. So we have here the pachinko. It's a ramen bar. Fugu. Pufferfish. This one's a bookstore. Oh, and there's even a karaoke bar. Cool, cool. So we have pachinko. Oh, we need a card for that one. Shutter Clunker. Which is run print. Cool, cool. So we can print them out too. You can put little designs on all the photos. I don't think I've taken any photos yet. Or we can take a photo.
Ugh, creepy. I don't think I need to keep this one.
Still can't get a photo of Nancy. Okay, how do I go back? There we go.
That Yurei comic looks interesting. I should check it out.
Comic? Oh, I'm guessing this is a comic. Okay, so we're going to have to find a card so we can play pachinko. Cool, cool. Ooh, the vending machines. Because the money exchange is broken, so you can't exchange any of your money. Oh, there's a sushi place on the 3rd floor. That'd be fun. Go to pachinko and then get sushi afterwards. And go back to the Ryokan for now. Oh, Potato, you love sushi too? Sushi's pretty good. What's your favourite sushi? Or like type of sushi?
That's done. Can't check that off yet. Haven't done that. Still have to do that.
Pocket potato. Anything with tuna probably. Tuna sushi is absolutely bomb. It's so good. But they're also good. I'm not picky. True. Or you can get some weird sushi. I remember I had one that had like a hamburger steak on top of it. Did not enjoy that. But it was certainly a fun one to try. Okay, this one's still for guys. We'll go check out a lesson. Potato sounds interesting. Yeah, it was. My friend ordered it, didn't like it, and I was forced to eat the rest. Not forced, I said I'd finish it. I don't like leaving food on my plates. I feel really awkward. So what time is it? Oh, it's 12:26 AM. Cool.
Hi.
I hear this place has a reputation as a destination for ghost hunters.
We didn't ask for it. It's all that stupid book. Those people, they have no respect for anyone or anything.
I saw a certificate certifying that the Ryokan was cleansed of all ghosts and spirits. Can you tell me about that?
What? That's no offense, but that seems sort of silly. A certificate?
So you don't know anything about it?
No. And where exactly did you find this certificate?
Behind the portrait I helped Rentaro repair.
Maybe you should stay away from what isn't yours. And maybe he should have the sense to know what is a family matter. I have to get back to work now.
Okay. Oh, my futon's been put out. Okay. I'll go to the next day. Seven? Yeah.
What was that? Oh no, the screen tore. I better tell Mawako about this tomorrow.
Yeah, nah. If I'd seen that, I wouldn't be in that place anymore. I'd be out. Portrait, oh heck no. Yeah, totally agreed. Completely agree.
It must have just been my imagination. I should try to get some more sleep.
Okay, so with the alarm stops itself. Okay, definitely need to get that one fixed. We got any more in our teaching material? Oh, they're doing family now.
Let's see how they did.
So Sakura, I has 3 sisters. Do you has a sister? I share my rooms. I has none pets. I share my rooms works. Okay, mine twin is a sister. Do we have brothers? No. We live in town and I have a gerbil. I'm an only child. Does he have a sister? We live in Kyoto and I have a cat. Fumiko, acing it again. I'm one brother. We're many sisters. We live in my home. My bird is mine. We live in an apartment. We have many fish. There we go. Okay, we'll go to mute. Oh, we'll answer the phone first.
Hello.
Oh, hi, Nancy. What was the name of the place you're staying at again?
The Ryokan Hiei.
Told you.
Guess you're right.
What are you two talking about?
We met this girl at a bento booth at the expo, and she grew up at the Ryokan you're staying at. Pretty crazy coincidence.
Is her name Yumi?
That's the one. You've got to get down here and meet her. She's so much fun. She told us all about everyone at the Ryokan, and it sounds like you've got your hands full.
I should come to meet her. I have a few questions.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh, what?
I know that tone of voice.
What tone of voice?
Yep, that's the one.
What are you talking about?
You're working a case, aren't you?
Maybe. I don't know exactly what is going on at the Ryokan, but it's really strange.
Busted.
Okay, you got me. I may have found a mystery.
Shocking.
So, what can we do for you?
Yeah, what's going on?
Well, I saw something really strange in my room.
What?
A shadowy figure showed up in my room, but when I looked out on the balcony, no one was there. It was like whoever it was just disappeared.
Creepy. Okay, that's it. We're leaving Japan.
I'm sure there is a logical explanation.
Me too. I'm just not sure what it is yet.
The two of you, I swear, if we were being chased by a dinosaur, you two would be too busy debating about the fossil record to run away. Where's your sense of panic?
It was pretty scary, I admit, but I don't believe that someone could just disappear.
Right. Well, you said a shadow figure, right? Maybe it was some sort of trick of the light.
That's what I was thinking. I'll keep an eye out for something like that.
Spooky. Anything else?
No, I don't need a hint yet.
I'll let you go.
Talk to you later.
Potato. I wish we could have actually seen them in person in this game. Yeah, that would have been so cool if you actually got to meet up with them. But sadly, yeah, we only get to meet them in person in the one game, which is upsetting. And of course, that had to be the controversial one, so no one really plays it anyway.
I tore one of the screens in my room. I'm really sorry.
Do not worry, Nancy-san. This happens often. Very easy to fix, just a little steam to loosen the glue. I'll have Lentalo take care of it immediately.
Great, thanks.
Actually, no, I lied. They're in two games. They're in Ransom of the Seven Ships, and they're in that Shattered Medallion one. I think that's all the ones they're in. Yeah.
When I tore the screen, I think I saw someone on my balcony.
Right. It's nothing to worry about. The screens really distort things sometimes. I'm sure it was just your imagination.
How do I should do? Yeah, okay. I'm just forgetting. Yeah, I'm just forgetting all the ones I've appeared in. So they've been in 3. And then possibly 3. They weren't in Midnight in Salem. That was just the other girl. Okay, I'll stay at 3. No more luck. It turns out there'll be in a 4th one, but oh well. Hello there. Pocket shade in my memory is dead. Yeah, nah. I'm shocking. I'll just remember it slowly over the course of the day, and I'll be like, oh yeah. But they're meant to be. Yeah, there's like rumors they're making another game, but of course there's nothing confirmed yet. Or at least I haven't found anything confirmed yet. But we'll see how that goes.
Maybe you're right.
I'm sure of it. There's nothing to worry about.
Do you think that the Ryokan is haunted?
By what? Ghosts? No. Ghosts aren't real, Nancy.
Depends on your definition of ghosts.
I found an old article. Can you tell me what it says?
Sure. Where did you get this? You have no right to have this.
So completely kicked out for that one. Now you have the chance to really experience downtown Kyoto. by dragging your suitcase behind you.
Hi.
Oh, I have to fully start from the beginning.
I tore one of the screens in my room. I'm really sorry.
Do not worry, Nancy-san. This happens often. Very easy to fix, just a little steam to loosen the glue. I'll have Lentalo take care of it immediately.
Great, thanks.
But,
when I tore the screen, I think I saw someone on
with
my
that second
balcony.
chance,
Right.
lugging your suitcase
It's nothing
around.
to worry about.
Absolute hell
The
if you have to
screens
get
really
a
distort
train
things
station
sometimes.
that has
I'm
no
sure it was
elevator
just your
or
imagination.
No escalator. Absolute hell carrying it down the stairs.
It wasn't my imagination. I saw someone walking on my balcony, and then she just disappeared.
You're seeing things. It is just your imagination.
Do you think that the Ryokan is haunted?
By what? Ghosts? No. Ghosts aren't real, Nancy.
I'll let you go.
Okay, see ya.
Oh, and not all places you stay will have elevators either, so you better hope you don't have to get like the 5th floor and gotta walk all the way up those stairs with your suitcases. It's not fun.
Nancy, today I have a very important lesson. We will learn origami.
Great, let's get started.
Origami has been around in many forms for centuries. Master Yoshizawa brought the art back before it could disappear. There is a grave danger, Nancy-san, in forgetting. If the whole world forgets a thing or a person, then it is gone forever.
What do you mean by that?
I have for you here a selection of origami patterns, a few steps away from the last step. You must simply match the pattern to the completed design.
Okay. So we'll check the little box of lessons. Okay. Potato says something really deep. Anyway, here's how to open. Yeah, pretty much most of the. Yeah, I think that's most of Takai's conversations in this one. Here we go. Origami. The Japanese art of paper folding has been practiced in Japan since the 6th century and was believed to have been introduced from China. In its early days, when paper was expensive, only the rich could afford to create origami. As the cost of paper decreased, it became increasingly popular with the masses. In 1797, the first origami book with instructions was published by Hidan Senbazuru Orikata, The Secret to Folding 1,000 Cranes. Traditional models continued to be folded for centuries without much change. In 1880, paper folding became known as origami by combining the words oru, to fold, and kami, paper. Oh, kami's paper, okay. When Master Akira Yoshizawa began to publish new models during the 1950s, he helped usher in a modern era of origami. Along with Sam Ranlett, he also created a standardized set of origami symbols that are still in use today. I didn't know kami meant paper. It does mean God, and it also means hair. I know that much. Turn over, fold, then unfold. Okay. With practicing master paper folders and improved folding techniques, the models produced today can be astounding. Surrounded by models of lifelike bugs and intricate geometric designs, the crane remains one of the most iconic and popular origami patterns. Even now, senbazuru are traditionally given as wedding presents or to newborns as a wish for 1,000 years of happiness and prosperity. Okay. Okay.
Hello, Nancy-san.
I'd like to try learning origami again.
Okay. Okay, so they're not like the final steps in any of them, they're all along those lines. So if we start with these three. Oh word. I think this would be fly. We've got the bird, that will end up being the tail. And then we've got the fish.
No, again.
Oh, that was harsh. These two?
They
There we
are
go.
perfect. Absolutely perfect. You have many talents, Nancy-san.
Oh, thank you. This one.
We fixed the portrait. I think it's back up in the lobby.
It is, yes.
Rentaro tells me that it's very important to you.
Yes, it is very important to all of us.
Why were you so upset when it fell?
You would be upset if something you love broke.
There was more to it than that.
No, that was all.
I'll let you get back to work.
Goodbye.
Okay, let's check out the bathroom, see if we can go explore in there yet. There we go. So it's now for women or Ona. Ona. Oh. Hell no. Nope. Reckon I'd cry myself to sleep at night if that happened to me. Oh, I'm not trying to back out. Trophy. Oh, haunted tours. When on the search for ghosts, you'll want to make sure you don't call in any additional bad luck. Here are 13 Japanese superstitions to be aware of. The number 4 is pronounced she, the same as the word for death, and is considered very unlucky. As a result, many hotels do not have a room number 4 or a 4th floor. True, it can be pronounced as yon or she. The number 9 and the word pain also share the pronunciation ku. Though not as unlucky as 4, 9 is still frequently skipped in numbering rooms or floors in hotel. Never really noticed that one, but okay. Whistling at night will attract snakes. Avoid sticking chopsticks upright into a bowl of rice, as this is traditionally part of a funeral ritual. Don't sleep with your head pointing north. Breaking a comb or a strap of your geta sandal will bring bad luck. Never write another person's name in red ink. Something bad will happen to them if you do. How do I go down? There. Seeing a spider in the morning is good luck, but seeing one at night is bad. Badgers, not cats, are considered unlucky because they wear masks to hide their eyes. Okay. If you lie down immediately after eating, you'll turn into a cow. Hide your thumb if a funeral car passes you. Blood type influences one's personality. And never pass food from chopstick to chopstick. This is another funeral rite. Yeah. It is. The chopstick to chopstick is bones. So would not recommend it. You'll get quite a few, well, some more extroverted people will come up and tell you, but the rest will just give you some intense looks. Never write another person's name in ink. This is... I don't know about that one, considering the Hankel stamps are all red inks. So I don't know about that one. Okay.
This looks important. I should figure out where I can use it.
So this is our pachinko parlor. Cool, cool. So we got the pachinko card. We got the wash area.
It looks like something is missing here.
Okay. So
all mysteries should involve hot springs.
Would recommend. Hot springs are great. But yeah, the public onsens. You feel very awkward, but you just have to throw yourself into the water and be like, cool. Okay, what have we got task-wise?
Haven't done that. Check. Check. Can't check that off yet.
So we should go exploring.
Can't check that off yet.
Okay, we'll start with the exposition center. Oh, or the pachinko bar, either one. Okay, we need 1,339. Oh lord, the sound this will make. Good luck. Am I able to make it quieter so it doesn't blast everyone's eardrums? Okay, we'll try that. See how this goes. Part of me is tempted to go find a pachinko parlor and see just how similar to this it actually is. But I don't want to have to end up spending money to find out. Especially if I find it addicting, then we've got a problem. Although saying that, there is... there's one, I think, 5 minutes from my house. But, okay, so we got halfway there. All just for a comic, this. Oh well. But I'm also not sure if pachinko parlors actually have like these card systems or if it's purely physical like balls that you use. But I know in some arcades for the games like the rhythm games, sorry, you can get special cards that save your progress. So whenever you check in to a game, like any other time, all your progress from previously was saved, so you can always have all the unlocked songs that you've got. But I haven't a clue how to get a hold of the cards. But, Pocket Potato, I just googled and it says there is only one parlor in the US. Ah, so they even have the pachinko over there. Okay. Yeah. I mean, that's pretty cool. I haven't heard of them being anywhere outside of Japan. So the fact that there is at least one over there, that's... Let's go check it out, depending on how close you are. Oh, here we go. We have our comic book. Yurei, starring Koji and Kit. LOY, get on my nerves. What are we doing today, Kit? Ghost hunting. Oh. Gulp. Can't we just go fox hunting instead? How many times do I have to explain why that's not funny? Well, here we are. Go ahead and open the door, Kit. I'll let you get the door since you're the one with opposable thumbs. No ghosts here. Let's head home. Scared, Koji? No, it's just that we came to find a ghost, and since there are no ghosts, or hey guys, what's up?
Recording the site of a haunting might actually be a really good idea. I should look into that.
Since there are no ghosts, what? I'm totally haunting this house? We should just get back to the car and... I'm not going. Okay, fine. This house isn't haunted by just any ghost. A Yuri lives here. Beep beep. That's one of those sassy but friendly ghosts that grants wishes, right? No. Beep. A Yuri is the vengeful spirit of a person who died tragically. They have unfinished business to take care of before they can rest. True. I've got like a million things on my plate right now. We can't help the Yuri if we don't know why she wants revenge. Beep, 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 beep. Help the Yuri? You want to help a ghost? It's for this sort of scavenger hunt I'm doing with friends. Creak. Ooh. Who's ready to party? Later. More tea. No thanks. Tea? Is that what this is? I mean, yes. More tea, please. I'll have all the tea. Hooray for tea. Okay. Okay, so we got the comic book.
That's done.
So now we should go check out the exposition center and talk to Yumi or Mita. Matsue. Here we go.
Hi, is your name Yumi?
Absolutely not. Who's asking? It might be. Are you going to order? What's your agenda here, stranger?
I'm Nancy Drew.
Nope, never heard of you, but thank you for saying your name out loud. Oh, wait, Nancy Drew? As in friends with Bess and George and staying at the Ryokan Nancy Drew? Or are there two of you? Which one is it?
That's me, the friends with Bess and George.
Excellent. Yes, Perfect. Get over here. Come on. You're learning to make bento the Yumi way. Come on, trust me, it's a life skill. Once you know how to make a good bento box, you pretty much got the whole world all figured out.
Sure.
Sure, sounds good.
Fantastic. Here are the ingredients. You may notice that they run the gamut from pretty cute to insanely adorable. This is not an accident. Okay, very easy. The customers will give you a list of what they want and how they want it organized, and you pack it together. You won't believe how easy it is. Okay, I gotta go.
Going? Where are you going?
The store. Good luck. You'll do fine. I'll be back soon.
Oh, 1 second. Sorry, I've just noticed.
I guess I'd better get to work.
Cool. Sorry, I've altered the audio. Pocket potato. Sorry, I just noticed your thing. How are we sounding now? Okay? Or better? Or have I made it too loud? Much better? Ah, cool. Thank you for the heads up. I forgot to put it back to normal after the pachinko place. Okay, let's puzzle. So we have pig rice in the top corner, then the bear egg, bear rice, pocket potato. Sometimes I mute myself and off some. Oh no. I'm waiting for the day I do that to myself. But we'll see. Where is I? Okay, so the only bear left is the sandwich. We have pig sandwich, which means the only pig left would be the egg. Okay, we can do this. And there we go. Oh.
Hey, I did it! It was pretty cute.
Thanks for helping out, Nancy.
Could you tell me a little bit about the Ryokan?
I'm not into that sort of thing. Couldn't you find a pamphlet?
I was hoping for an insider's opinion.
Oh, I get it. You want the dirt on the situation, right?
Yes, exactly.
Interesting. You're working some kind of angle here, aren't you? Not that it matters. Still way too busy to talk.
I know you're busy, but I helped you out with bento, and all I want is a little information.
Okay. Surrounded by breathtaking views you'll not soon forget, the Ryokan Hiei opens the door to a simpler time. Perfect for the business traveler hoping to experience traditional Japan, or the family in search of that perfect vacation. Ryokan Hiei, discover Japan, discover you.
That's persuasive, but not exactly what I wanted to know.
Isn't it? That's mine from years back. I was thinking of going into advertising, but then I thought, nah.
I was hoping you could tell me a little about some of the strange things that have been happening.
Aha! If you really want to know. Oh no! I'm running out of bento boxes. Can you please go grab my backup stock from my apartment? This is the sort of thing that can move us from buddies to straight up besties.
Sure, I'll just... First time we meet, I'll hang out to your apartment. Cool. Sorry, bucket potato. Nancy is so entitled in this one. She's the real bad guy. Yes! Nancy is shocking in this one. Like... Oh, 1 second.
Sure. Great. It's just over by the Kurume station. I could tell right away that we were going to be friends. Here's my key.
Cool. Like, I know she can get sassy, but this is like... She is way too invasive and trying to get into their privacy. It's not okay in this one.
Oh, and P.S. My number is 075-021-5855.
Your grandmother seems a little hesitant to talk to me.
That's the shocker of the decade. She's hesitant to talk to herself.
What do you think of Rentaro?
Other than that he should get a job at the Nerd Statue Factory as their primary model? He's a good time. What do you think of Rentaro?
He's cool.
He seems nice.
He's a bit of a pest. Nice works if you want to be polite. But come on, this isn't the Ryokan. You can say what you mean.
That is what I meant.
Okay, if you say so.
I met your sister, Miwako. You two seem pretty close.
That doesn't sound like the impression you'd get by having a chat with Miwako. What are you trying to ask?
Miwako seemed a little upset about the ryokan. Do you know anything about that?
That's more her area of expertise. I've never been the go-to girl for the ryokan. That place is the definition of repetitive. Guests come in, guests come out. It's brain-breakingly tedious. I don't know how Miwako puts up with it.
Does Miwako like working at the ryokan?
Well, yeah. Why else would she be there day in and day out? What that girl needs is to spend some time out here. A few weeks with me and my friends would be enough to shake her up and get her to have some fun for once.
So you don't want to take over the ryokan?
Not even for a second. I mean, I don't even get the whole tradition thing. You want to go to the past? Get a time machine. I'm not one for living in the past. Have you ever read a history book? The past is where we keep all of the terrible things that have happened.
That's a fair viewpoint.
What does Takai think of you working here?
It's a phase. I'll snap out of it. Like I've been hypnotized and one day someone says the right word and snaps their fingers and I'll go, "Hello, I am Yumi. One job running Ryokan, please." She's old school like that. Thinks the fun parts of life are a phase and the nasty parts are the bees and knees.
Can you tell me a little bit about what happened with your mother?
This is not the time or the place.
Is there a better time? Maybe when you're not at work?
There's never going to be a time or place. Just drop it.
Speaking of Nancy's entitlement, right there.
I'm busy right now.
Okay, so go explore her apartment. Okay, where is... Okay, go eager and up. Oh, to the side. Kobe. Miyazaki. Burawa. Kurume. Message. Oh, so she's taking a photo at the Pachinko parlor. Oh, and there's Bess. This is... Oh, 1 second. Yeah, so this looks... So whatever happened with their mum, it looks like Yumi was the one that found her. There we go. Which is yeah.
These must be what Yumi was talking about.
Her bento boxes. This setup looks just like my kitchen. With the little hot plate. My taps don't look like this though, thankfully. Ooh. So much pink. Oh, it's got the frosted glass windows. Unveiling Ghosts, Paranormal Investigations from Around the World by Savannah Woodham. Ah, so she's the one who gave the certificate. To the Shimizu family, your hospitality during this time has been immeasurable. Thank you for allowing me into your home and your lives. If you ever find yourselves in the state of Georgia, you've got a place to stay. Cool.
Savannah Woodham. That's the author of this book. I should hang on to this. Having her phone number might come in handy.
Oh. Got Monk in the Haunted Steeps, Private Baths, Ryokan here.
It looks like someone tore out one of the chapters.
So the Hiei has gone missing. Dear Marianne, as usual these letters are piling up and I haven't made it to the post office. It was great seeing you during your visit. Hurry back soon. I know I promised to make my way over to the States, but life always has other plans. The girls are keeping me busy and the Ryokan is doubly booked as usual. Yumi wanted me to tell you that she had a nice time during your visit, although it would be hard to tell with her pouting for the cheap seats the whole time. She and Mawako have been at each other's throats lately. It's ugly. I hope it's a phase, but I'm beginning to worry that it might not be. Cassie and Ben are such good friends. I wish I knew your secret. They're so different. You know. They remind me of you and me when we were kids. You were always so serious, and I was always doing my best to get you in trouble. I think that's what made us such good friends. But for the two of them, it's always a battle. Enough of that. Send my love to the family. Can't wait to see you again. Kazumi. Okay. Oh, we got a little passcode we need. Make your own shadow puppets. Shadow puppets have been entertaining audiences for millennia. With only a light source, a 2D cutout puppet, and a screen on which to project the shadow, the puppeteer brings to life whole stories told in a silhouette. The performance art is believed to have originated in China during the Han Dynasty to console the emperor who had recently lost a beloved lady. When he saw her image represented in the shadow figures, he was able to overcome his grief. While traditional shadow puppets were made of leather with rods of wood or bone, you can make your own puppets with more basic materials. You need paper, cardboard, scissors, hole punch, paper fasteners, wooden rods, and tape. Trace the pattern and cut out the pieces. Use the Use the hole punch to make holes where the X's show. Attach the pieces with paper fasteners. Tape rods on the back of the puppet, one to the head, one to the middle of the body, and one to the tail. You can decorate your puppet further if you like, but remember only the silhouette will be seen during the show. Your puppet's ready to take the stage. This same technique can be used with a variety of shapes, materials, and sizes to create a whole troupe of puppets. Okay. Something we can put a CD into. Okay, so we need to find a password for this one. Got a CD. Got some
I need to translate that.
That is what that is, right? Yeah. Let's see what the CD says.
What was that?
Cool, so gonna die in about 7 days it seems. Good to know. Thank you for that. Okay, we'll head back now.
Fancy! And you've got my boxes. Neat! Here, I've got a thing for you. It's a phone charm. You can't not have one.
Oh, so cute.
Thanks. What's it do?
Come to think of it, it doesn't really do anything. Get a job, phone charm. It probably won't. That's okay, just hang it on your phone. I've got tons. Help me with bento, and I'll hook you up with some super cute ones.
Hell yeah, free phone charms.
Why do you have a book on shadow puppets?
Oh, that's Miwako's. It shouldn't be in my apartment. It's just a stupid book about puppets. It's just another one of the things that my grandmother is trying to always push on us.
Could you use something like this to make spooky shadows from far away? Say, a balcony?
Yeah, I guess.
Your outfit is very interesting. Where did you get it?
Get it? Oh, you cannot get something this cool in a store. I made it.
You make your own clothes?
Yeah, I got sick of waiting for the boutiques to catch up to me. The places I go around here, fashion is the business. You don't show up looking out of date. Oh, I've got the best thing. You gotta have it. I use it to come up with all of my new ideas.
Oh, what's that?
It's a program for your phone. You upload pictures to the computer and send them to your phone. It lets you test out a new look on you or your friends. It's back at my place on the computer.
Sounds great. I don't usually have time to keep up with the latest fashion trends.
I could sort of tell, but I wasn't sure if you were going for an irony thing with your outfit.
Hey!
Just teasing. You pull off the old school thing Nancy drew. Some things don't go out of style. If you help me out with a little more bento right now, I'll hook you up with the program. Come on.
Cool. Okay. Start with the easy ones. Okay, so that'll be the next one we have to do. Bear sandwich and then the rabbit. There we go.
All right, who's next? Step right up.
Great job. Here you go, Nancy.
Oh, there's our password. Cool.
I watched that DVD at your place. It was very strange.
You did what?
Shouldn't I have? Oh no, I'm sorry, Yumi.
I'm sure it'll be fine. Just be very cautious.
What do you mean?
You have to be cautious about everything here, Nancy.
Oh, I'm not giving back my phone charm.
Love that last picture of you and Bess.
I know, isn't that one great?
Oh, there's more.
Love that last picture you sent.
Thanks.
I don't understand. If you're the one who's supposed to take over the Ryokan, why is Miwako the one working there?
Ugh, Nancy-chan. Don't get everyone else on me here. If I had known I was supposed to run that place when I grew up, I would have taken a pass on the whole firstborn thing. Trust me.
If Miwako left the Ryokan, who would run it?
I don't know. It doesn't matter. Why do you care so much about it anyway?
I'm just sort of naturally curious.
I'd back burner that curiosity as long as you're staying at the Ryokan if I were you.
What do you mean?
Try not to find out, okay, Nancy? You seem nice.
Sorry, Buck Cheddar, who just goes to someone's place and watches their DVDs? Yeah, I think that's just limited to Nancy and her, well, we'd say sleeping ways, but it's just... She likes to go through other people's business. Just be like rocking up to a co-worker or a friend's house and being like, oh, I'm just gonna go grab something, I'll be right back. And then while they're gone, you just snoop through all of their cupboards and all their files. But then, saying that, there's a whole, reality? Yeah, a whole reality TV show in the UK called Come Dine With Me. That's pretty much all they do. They're meant to go over there and try out a person's cooking. And while they're cooking, they go through all their cupboards. To judge them on that.
Hi!
Yeah.
I really like your apartment.
You do? Thanks! It's just a 1K. That's code around here for tiny and overpriced, but the location is great and it's mine. I love it.
When did you move out of the Ryokan?
The second I was old enough to sign a lease. Best decision I've ever made. No late night room service. No annoying tourists calling up at 4 in the morning. I adore that apartment. I wonder if it knows. I'm going to get it something nice today. A new doormat or something.
I found Savannah's ghost book in your apartment. Can you tell me more about that?
She's some sort of ghost hunter or something. I don't know much about it, okay?
But she did a chapter on the Ryokan.
Yeah, well, just because my grandmother believes in that junk doesn't mean I do.
Well, that's fair. Okay.
I'll let you go.
See you later!
Okay, what's on our task list? And then we can see what we've got to do.
Did that. That's done.
We can contact... Yeah, we'll contact Savannah and then we'll head back to Yumi's apartment.
Can't use my phone here.
Okay then. We'll go to the apartment and then call her.
Savannah Woodham's office, Logan speaking.
Can I speak to Savannah Woodham, please?
Are you one of our interviews?
Interviews?
I'm Savannah Woodham's assistant. Is she interviewing you about the expo?
No, I actually want to speak to Savannah about a book she wrote.
Oh, great! I'm so glad you called.
Really? Why's that?
It's been like 3 days since I've gotten to hang up on anyone. I wonder if I'm still good at it.
Oh, what an ass.
Logan speaking.
Did you just hang up on me?
Oh, absolutely. Between you and me, it was awesome. In fact...
You know. Okay, we'll go back into the apartment. Okay, spooky. I'll go with the 3 stick out bits. So we've got blue, yellow, and then purple. Oh no, that's not it, it's this one. No. No. Just going to be searching out every single blue one until I find one. That works. Oh, blue, yellow. Oh no, yellow's in the bottom corner. No. Blue. Oh no, that's some blue in the bottom corner. Oh, that one? Yeah, we're in. Ah, so she can like design outfits. Okay. Way to make a styling avatar. Phone Fashion Software is here to keep your whole contact list looking fashionably fly. See you on the runway. Okay.
Haven't done that. That's done. Check. Check. Still have to do that.
Okay, we'll call Bess and George.
Nancy, how's it going?
Pretty chill.
I looked in this mirror, and instead of seeing my reflection, I saw a ghostly image.
Ugh, creepy.
cool.
Actually, I'm going to side with Bess on this one.
No, I've heard about stuff like this before. There's a thing you can do to the glass to throw a false image, but it's a really fussy process. It's hard to do without breaking the mirror.
Yeah, the mirror broke. So do you think it's possible it was rigged?
More possible than the other option.
Kyoto.
How's Kyoto?
It's the best. Yumi's been showing me some of the coolest parts of town. The fashion here is crazy. Yumi took me to a store. I don't even know how to describe this place. It was pink. Really, really pink. It had the pink version of everything you could imagine.
I'm not surprised.
Neither was I, but I was a little horrified. But then she took us to see the Guion district. So cool. She was a little grumpy that we wanted to see some traditional plays, but I think she had fun anyway.
Here we go.
I found a strange book about ghosts in Yumi's apartment with a note from the author.
What do you mean?
It had a dedication from the author, Savannah Woodham, to the Shimizu family. But the really weird thing is, there's a chapter missing.
What was in the missing chapter? Nope, strike that. That is a dumb question.
That's pretty strange. Maybe you can find another copy of the book somewhere.
There's a business card with the author's number inside. But more importantly, the table of contents says the missing chapter was about the Ryokan.
Weird. Did you call?
I called Savannah, but she's got a really protective assistant.
Yeah?
Apparently, she's in Kyoto now, covering the expo for some tech magazine, so she's pretty busy. If I could get past her assistant, I could finally figure out what this whole book is about.
Wait, so this guy is at the expo?
Pretty sure.
Then we've got this one.
We do?
Yup, we're going to find them, and you're going to flirt up a distraction.
I am?
Yes, you are.
Well, at the very least, this will be interesting.
And if it's a mortifying failure or anything, which it might be, we do live thousands of miles away.
Solid point. We'll keep you updated.
Okay. Literally gonna flirt with a man just so I can get a book. Love that. Sorry, pocket potato. I want pink everything too. Oh, so you're a fan of pink things? Depends on the shade of pink for me. I'm fussy. But seeing photos of like the entire room decked out in purely pink stuff.
What do you guys think of Yumi?
She's so much fun.
Goals.
A little pushy sometimes, but I feel like I've known her for years and we've just met.
She seems to really dislike the Ryokan. Do you think she'd want to see it closed down?
Well, I can't say for sure. She does really seem to resent that place, but I'm not sure if she'd go as far as trying to get it shut down. I don't know.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Bye.
Oh, no, I was meant to go back. Okay.
Hi.
Do you want to manage the Ryokan?
Right now I have to, but it's not that simple.
Why not?
It just isn't. Hello.
From what I understand, the Ryokan has quite the reputation for being haunted.
It is true that we have the reputation.
Has that been difficult for business?
It is nothing you need to concern yourself over.
Can you think of anyone who would stand to gain if the Ryokan went out of business?
No one I know. We all depend upon the ryokan, even Yumi and Rentaro.
What about someone else, on the outside?
No, there's no one else.
How does your grandmother feel about the Ryokan?
It's her whole world. She loves it more than anything or anyone she's ever met.
What does she think of Yumi not working here?
It's a very sore subject for her. And honestly, I've heard too much about it already.
What do you mean?
Every day I'm here, making sure all is well. It would just be nice to hear her at least mention all of the work I do. Just once. I'm sorry this is nothing you want to hear about.
Do you think Yumi's ever going to come back here to run the Ryokan?
If she knows what's good for her.
Ooh.
Why doesn't Yumi work here at the Ryokan?
She's very... My mother used to call her a free spirit. But that's a nice way of saying that Yumi's selfish and doesn't want to help.
Do you and Yumi get along?
No.
Straight to the point. Ooh.
So I take it you're not very close.
With us, the term isn't close, it's within striking range. So we both try to avoid that.
Did you and Yumi ever get along?
Of course, but really. She was a very good big sister to have after what happened with our mother. But soon enough, she was back to being the selfish, manipulated brat she is today.
Sorry, the within striking range. It's quite funny to me.
She does seem a little demanding.
Not demanding, manipulative and bratty. Trust me, I've thought this one through.
I'm sorry, the mirror broke when I was in the baths, but before it broke, I saw the image of a woman who wasn't in the room with me.
Don't worry, Nancy. I'm sure it was nothing. I have Lintalo take care of it right away. Until then, please stay away. I don't want you to get hurt.
But I saw something. I'm sure of it.
You work too hard, Nancy-san. Up too late, off to teach so early. You must rest more. Your judgment suffers if you do not get enough rest.
I know what I saw.
Nancy-san, please. I have to ask you to let me get back to work.
Okay, so try talking. I'll call the Savannah's assistant again. See if Bess and George have made progress.
Logan speaking.
I really need a copy of Savannah's book. Can you help me?
Sure. Bookstores are a great start. Or the internet is helpful, but I'm really more of a brick and mortar person, honestly. I suppose you could also go the books on tape route. TV's Ralston Palpers does an excellent job with the text. Really makes it come alive.
No, I meant, could you send me a copy?
Oh, nope, but thank you for asking.
Jeez.
I'll let you go.
I'll get an
See you later.
Hi.
I'm not getting very far with Miwako.
What do you mean?
She never seems to answer my questions directly.
That's never a good sign. I'd keep an eye on her. She could just be quiet, or she could be hiding something.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Bye!
Or it's just in her nature not to be direct.
Nancy, Operation Distract Logan is a go. Call Savannah. Gotta go.
Oh, that works.
Hello.
Hi, is this Savannah Woodham?
Let me guess. You're that Nancy girl who's been driving my assistant to distraction and back this last week?
Just
well,
today.
I wouldn't exactly say that.
I would. Now tell me what's so important that y'all ruined my perfectly good assistant. Since y'all been calling round, talking to him's been like talking to a rock that I pay too much money.
I'm staying at the Ryokan Hiei. Something really strange is going on here.
Don't tell me a lie now. This a joke?
No, I promise. It's the truth. I saw your book. I thought maybe you could help.
Honey, whoever you are, my best advice to you is to pack your bags and head back to wherever it is y'all come from.
I'm not leaving until I figure out what's really going on here.
There gonna be anything I can say that'll change your mind now?
No, I'm going to get to the bottom of this with or without you. But I could really use your help.
I've been a lot of places that say they haunted, but none fit the ticket like that spooky old Ryokan Hiei. I never got to finish up the chapter on the Ryokan like I was supposed to. Between us girls, I'm glad of that. You get much out of the family?
Nothing too useful.
Uh-huh. Tell you what, You end up following through with that bad idea of yours to stay at the Ryokan, and I'll see what help I can provide. But Nancy?
What's that?
Y'all be careful there now. You understand me?
I will. I think I ran across a trick mirror here.
Did it break?
Yeah, how did you know?
That's how you know it's a trick. Y'all know what the main difference between truth and illusion is in my line of work?
What's that?
Time. An illusion can only last so long before it gives up its secrets. Now, I don't know exactly how that mirror was fixed, but the fact that it broke means that whoever rigged it knew that if you examined it enough, you'd figure it out.
So it was broken, so I couldn't figure out how it was faked.
Exactly. That is, if it was a trick. Nancy, I can tell you how things might be faked, but I can't tell you if they were faked. You're the ones got to stand there and know how the room feels when these things happen.
What's the story with your assistant, Logan?
He's like my own little Georgia bulldog. He can be a little aggressive sometimes, a little dopey at others, but always loyal. He's one of the good ones when you get right down to it.
How long has he been working for you?
Not long now. He started right after I switched my focus to tech reporting.
Why did you change careers?
It's a long story, but chasing's not the safest career there is. Ain't nothing shocking in that.
What is a yurei?
It's a vengeful spirit that never knew justice here on the earth. They're said to be the spirits of those who've been wronged, and they're caught up in the worst moment you can imagine. They're very angry and very, very dangerous. If that's what you're dealing with there, you best be very careful.
I saw a really creepy, shadowy figure on my balcony. Do you think that could be faked?
Course. Ain't nothing hard than that.
Yeah?
It's as easy as shadow puppets. All you need to be able to do is practice. In my experience, people like scaring people with shadows a lot more than ghosts do. Way I see it, if it's something a person could plausibly do, then there's a person behind it. If it's something a person can't do that's scaring you, well, y'all don't need me to finish that sentence.
True. Here we go, certificate.
Can you tell me about the certificate you gave the Shimizu family?
Oh, yeah, that. Now, before you go thinking I'm some sort of charlatan, I don't normally do things like that. In fact, I had those made up to give to kids who were feeling too scared to go to sleep at night.
Why did you leave one here?
I felt like I should leave them something. I don't usually leave a place without knowing what's really going on there. Honestly, I felt so bad about the whole situation.
Can you help me translate an article I found? No one else is willing to.
Sure. Leave it at the counter and I'll have Logan swing by to pick it up.
Do you know where I can get a copy of your book?
I'm guessing you're looking for the ghost hunting book I wrote, but I can't help you there. I'm out of copies myself. To be honest, Nancy, I don't mind helping you. But this whole ghost thing is a phase I'd sooner put behind me.
Why's that?
Now, don't y'all worry about that now. Just a choice I made.
There must be some reason. I understand you were pretty well known.
Put it this way, Nancy. There are some jobs where being well known makes for a dangerous life. Sometimes it's smart to move on.
I'll talk to you later.
You take care now.
Okay, so we'll get an envelope and then we'll drop that off so she can translate it for us.
Someone's been in here. It looks like whoever left those footprints walked right through the wall.
The noise Nancy made to scare the crap out of me. Oh. Okay, we have some wet footprints. Oh, it looks like they come right out of the bed. Okay. Oh, the little crane. Okay, we just had a message. Wearing some sunnies. Do we have to take it back to the expo or can it just get sent off? I don't remember.
Hi!
Ah, I can leave it here. But cool.
It seems like you and Rentaro were pretty close.
Yes, we grew up together. I have a few memories before Rentaro, but not many.
How long have you two been dating?
I don't even know. A long time.
You sound a little frustrated.
Sometimes it's hard not to be with Rentaro.
What do you mean?
Never mind. I shouldn't be bothering you with this.
If that noise picked up on the microphone, it was the kids running around upstairs.
It's not a bother.
It's just that when he gets it in his mind that he wants something, there's just no stopping him. He's been pressuring me to leave here.
Why is that?
He keeps saying it'll be good for me, but really, he's just being selfish. I think. I really don't know. He can be so sweet sometimes, and other times it's like there's only him in the world.
Can I leave this here to be picked up?
Yes.
Yes.
Thanks. I'll talk to you later.
Okay, see ya.
Okay. So that's that one done. Just gonna check in. Oh, what time is it? 12 AM. Yeah, she's probably in bed.
Haven't done that. Can't check that off yet.
Okay, we'll go to bed. And then then we can talk to Takaya, and then we should also have that article translated. 7 PM. We'll do that for that time again.
How'd it get so late already? I should get to bed. It's teacher time.
Teacher time. Match the sentences. Okay. Pig goes quack. My cat likes to hunt in the hay. The sheep eats hay. The lamb is a baby horse. Ooh. Yes, the hay eats horse. A sheep is a baby lamb. Fumiko. Sorry, just breezing through these ones. There we go. Oh, phone call.
Logan here.
Yes?
Alright. Savannah wants me to translate that article for you. I don't know what it is you said to her, but whatever you did to get her to talk about that paranormal garbage, you need to knock it off.
I can't promise that.
You really don't get it, do you? This ghost stuff isn't a joke, especially not to her. Since I'm the one stuck picking up the pieces after she gets too wrapped up in one of her cases, I'm telling you, leave it alone for her sake. And yours.
What happened to Savannah? Why doesn't she work with paranormal cases anymore?
It's not something she likes to talk about.
I gathered that, but can you tell me?
When we're traveling, I spend weeks with her just touring on buses, long plane flights. We talk a lot. I know everything about her childhood. Her best friend's dog's name from when she was 5, her favorite ice cream flavors. She's very chatty.
Then what has she told you about?
Nothing. Not a single word. I've asked, and when I do, she just goes quiet and excuses herself. She's never told me to stop bugging her about it, but I can tell that she wants to. That's why I don't want you bothering her about it either. Whatever happened when she was writing the second ghost book, it really got to her.
Second ghost book?
wasn't supposed to mention that. It's a secret, and it's not done, so don't think you're going to get your hands on it. I don't even know if she still has the manuscript. She had me tell her publisher she burned it, but I don't know if that's the truth.
So whatever happened really bugged her.
How long have you been working for Savannah?
Started a few years back as a fill-in gig during spring break. Eventually she needed a long-term assistant, and the job was just too weird to turn down.
Have you finished translating the article yet?
Just about. I'll have it sent to you as soon as I finish.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Talk to you later.
Okay. Oh, didn't mean to do that.
Hi.
I'll stop bugging you now.
Okay, see ya.
Okay, we'll go to okay. Cool. Oh, Spanners. Last evening, officers responded to an emergency call from 15-year-old Shimizu Yumi after she found her mother, Shimizu Kazumi, 42, who runs the Ryokan Hiei, lying unconscious in the indoor Ryokan bath. After arriving, emergency crews were unable to revive the apparent drowning victim. Police are currently treating the case as a crime but have yet to press charges. If this is an accident, that's it, the article ends there. Logan. Okay. So, Yumi found her mum after she drowned.
Nanasi-san, today we learn Chado, the tea ceremony.
Tea ceremony?
It is much more than making tea. It is the perfect exercise of balance and courteous friendship. Many spend their lives perfecting the ceremony, but today I will simply be teaching you the basics.
Sounds great.
The tea ceremony is foremost a gift. You are preparing a very special visit for friends and preparing to make certain every detail is perfect. Now there is a lot to learn. Be ready. I'll be asking you questions once I've finished. Let us begin.
Oh, she's gonna quiz
This
me.
is called the furo. Here we have the chasen or tea whisk. Here is the chakin, the tea cloth. This is called the kensui. This bamboo ladle is called a hishaku. You place the teapot cover on the futaoki. This is the chawan or tea bowl. The tea scoop is called the chasaku. This is the tea container. It is called the natsume. Each object has its proper place in the ceremony. You must place each item where it belongs.
Cool. So, okay, I tried writing those down as fast as I could, so we'll see how we went. So we've got the chasan is the tea whisk, and furo. That one. Natsumi. The shaku is the stick. The hishaku is the big stick. Kensui is this bowl with the oki. Shawan is the bowl. And check-in.
Well done, Nancy-san. Wonderful, Nancy-san. Absolutely wonderful. I would be honored to be invited to take tea with you.
Thanks.
You'd be honored. All I can do is name them.
What was that just a minute ago?
What do you mean?
I saw something.
It was the wind, the power lines, and shadows. This is nothing to worry about.
I think you're in a bit of denial there, honey.
Why do Yumi and Miwako fight so much?
You're an only child, aren't you?
Well, yes, but...
Siblings fight. Let me give you some advice. If you ever have children, Nancy-san, and they're not fighting, it generally means they are hiding something that they have just broken.
This is true. We're just broken, or we've done something very bad.
I need to know, do you believe the Ryokan is haunted?
Yes, Nancy-san. This isn't a trick someone is doing. Kasumi, she is still here. I can feel it. She's trapped and she's scared. And she's angry.
Do you really believe that?
When I was a girl, the most beautiful sparrow from the garden flew into my room. I had been trying to lure it in with seeds I'd stolen from the gardens for weeks. At first, I was so excited to have her in my room. But not for long. She couldn't find her way back out. She became very scared, threw herself into the walls in a panic. I was so worried she would die. She was so small and so frightened. I opened the windows wide and snuck out of the room to let her calm down. An hour passed, then 2, 3. I'd opened the door, and still she'd be there, crashing into the glass, trying so desperately to get free.
Did she get out?
Kasumi is still here. I must help her.
So that's still locked. Okay. We haven't talked to Rentaro in a while.
Hello.
So how long have you and Miwako been dating?
Officially, 4 years and 7 months. Non-officially, longer. And before that, a long time of me waiting for her to stop being so stubborn and agree to go out on a date with me.
So you grew up next door?
My dad and I moved in when I was about 7.
Why do you spend all of your time here when you live just next door?
Never got my room decorated right. Plus, this place has always been more fun. And Miwako's here. And I've got my workshop.
What does Takai think of your relationship with Miwako?
At this point, I think she considers me part of the family. Or at least she lectures me like I'm one of the family. I'm choosing to interpret that in a positive light.
Do you know what happened to the mirror in the baths?
Oh, that thing. I sorta hid it a few years back and put a little hairline crack in it. Its days have been numbered for a while.
Sorry about breaking it.
Oh no, don't worry. I'm just glad you didn't get hurt. Mirrors can be very dangerous when they're breaking. In more ways than one.
What do you mean?
Oh, shards of glass and such. Not something to fool around with.
True. It's lucky that they all stayed in the frame and didn't shoot out.
Something weird happened. When I looked in the mirror, I didn't see my reflection.
Aha!
You know what happened?
You're a vampire! Seriously though, that's pretty messed up. Maybe you need to get a little rest. This place might be getting to you a little.
Miwako seems a little annoyed that you want her to leave the Ryokan.
Ha! Tell me about it.
Are you going to keep it up?
Yeah, it's not just a selfish thing. It's for her own good, too.
Thanks for repairing my screen. That was pretty embarrassing.
Oh, no problem. Easy fix. Just took a little steam to loosen the paper, a little new glue. No one will ever be able to tell. Just don't do it again. Or at least wait until the paper cuts heal. Ooh, I think thinking about paper cuts is way worse than getting them. Why did I bring it up?
What do you think of Yumi?
She's pretty much the older sister you want to have. She's cool, she's adventurous, she's a pain, but no matter what, she's got your back. Although, man, can she be bossy. I'm sure she's already put you to work.
Yeah, a little.
That bossy thing is just her special way of saying, I am your boss, now do what I say.
I should go. I'll talk to you later.
Bye.
Okay, what have we got?
Did that.
Done. Get a closer look at my office cat. Ah, so I have to wait till after 1 AM for that one.
Did that.
Okay. I'll call Savannah again, see if we can get this book.
Logan speaking. Is this Nancy?
Yes.
Great! I'm so glad you called.
Why? So you can hang up on me again?
Oh, that. Don't take that personally. I'm an assistant. My job mostly consists of hanging up on people. That and remembering birthdays. I met your friend Bess, and this is probably awkward, but I know we haven't gotten off to the best start. But I'm really not a bad guy, and she's really cute. And maybe you could help a dude out?
All right. What?
Well, she said she's going to be hanging around the expo, and maybe you could, tell me about what she likes, or maybe give me some idea of what I might say to fill the awkward pauses. You may have noticed, but for the last while I've been with Savannah, most of my conversations have been about 10 seconds long, and they usually end up with me hanging up on someone, and I don't think that's going to cut it.
Oh, I see.
Do you think you could help?
Well, I was talking to her, and she really wants a copy of Savannah's book.
Oh, I see what you did there. Okay. As a gesture of goodwill, I'll do it. And Nancy, I'm sorry I hung up on you.
That's okay.
And Nancy, I might have to do it again, but should that happen, it's just business.
Bye, Logan.
Oh, wait. I should probably call Bess.
Hi, Nancy, what's up?
There were watery footprints in my room that led straight into a wall.
Why are you still there? You've lost your mind. You know how in the scary movies you always want to yell, "Don't go in that door," but they never can hear you?
Yeah?
Well, you can hear me, so don't go in that door. Call this mystery a wash and come stay at our hotel, which has a nice ghost-free view and a ghost-free pool and tiny, overpriced ghost-free packets of peanuts.
That's a nice offer, but I think I'm getting close to figuring out what's going on here.
Since you won't listen to reason, you're going to have to listen to George on this one.
Thanks a lot, Bess. Unfortunately, I don't have a clue about what to do with this one. But Nancy, whatever's going on out there, be careful.
I will, promise.
Ah, this one.
Yumi sent me a great picture of you two.
Oh, isn't that cool? I love the Purikura booth here. I'll show you where a really great one is if you get done with your mystery before we have to head back home.
I'm working on it. I promise I'll see you guys soon.
This one.
I had another strange run-in with a ghost here.
What happened this time?
I was in the hallway, and one by one the doors started to slam, and I heard the sound of water dripping.
Creepy. Just thinking about that, I'm not going to be able to sleep tonight. Not sure how you do it.
It is a little creepy, I'll admit that. I just need to figure out how someone could do it.
Good call. It could be pretty easily automated, I think.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Okay.
Haven't done that.
Okay, I'll call Logan again.
Savannah Woodham's office.
Were you able to find a copy of the book?
I did. But before I send it, I need to ask you another favor. I want to get Bess a present. She said she was looking for the perfect outfit. I think that'd be a great gift, but I have no clue what to do in a clothing store. I sort of just freeze at the sight of hangers. I think it's genetic.
I'll see what I can do. I know of a program that might be just the thing.
Great, thanks.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay, so I guess that means...
Oh no, sounds like another unhappy customer. I should listen to what's going on.
When we first walked in the door, my wife told me she had a bad feeling about this place. But no, I told her she was being unreasonable. Well, whatever it is that's going on down here, we are not putting up with it anymore. That thing you left in our room. No one should ever see something like that. I want my money back.
There was nothing there.
I don't want to see this place closed down. You'd never get away with something like this in Sydney.
Sir, please, we are not haunted.
Oh, please yourself.
Love that generic Aussie accent.
That was the last customer, wasn't it?
Yes, Nancy. It's just you. So, make yourself comfortable. We are all here for you until something happens to scare you off too.
I don't scare easily.
I've heard that before. Look, I'm sorry I shouldn't be upsetting you with all of this. Please, you're my only guest left. Let me at least make sure you have a good trip. Maybe you recommend us to your friends.
I still want to help.
Help? You want to help? Look around you. This place is beyond help. It was spooky and lonely before everything that happened, and now... Why do you think Yumi got out of this place as soon as she could? People come because they've heard it's haunted. They come here to be scared, and even they can't take it. I'm sorry, Nancy. There's nothing you can do here. Help yourself and find somewhere safer to stay.
Oh, she let some steam off. Okay, so I'm going to Yumi's apartment. So I guess it's just make any outfit the best. Okay. Wait, let me see the photo. That's not it. I guess if you use photos. That's about a hairstyle. Let's give it some eyes. Okay. Let's get her a dress. We'll do a dress. We'll make her... we'll make her look like the poster on the wall. I'll point it out in a minute. She can have a bow. Okay, and we need Savannah's number. Okay, let me just write this down. So we got 404 555 4478. Oh, didn't mean that. There we go. This poster, this dress. Oh, thanks. One more thing and I'll do this.
Did that. Can't check that off yet. That's done.
Okay, we'll give her... We'll pull logo back up. Nope.
Nancy, I got the picture you sent. I'm going to take it to that boutique she mentioned and let them do whatever it is they do.
Good. So you'll be sending the book?
Yeah, I was thinking I'd give it to Bess like, hey, here's that book you want, and since I'm here, let's get dinner, and I got you a present.
Whatever works. But the sooner I get that book, the better. I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Call Bess? I don't know whether she'll leave it somewhere for us or the Ryokan will get it.
Nancy, how's it going?
Or not.
I'll talk to you later.
Talk to you later.
Let's see if Yumi's got anything for us.
What's going on?
I won't mention that.
Have Miwako and Rentaro been dating long?
It's hard to backdate that sort of thing, so let's just say they've been dating somewhere between 2 and 1,000 years.
Is it just me, or do things seem a little strained between Miwako and Rentaro?
Do they? Come on, make with the details.
I don't really know. It's just an impression.
Ugh, boring. Nancy, if we're going to be gossip buddies, you're going to have to work on your follow-through.
Miwako seems a little annoyed with Rentaro.
Well, that's not surprising. Rentaro is super annoying. Super annoying. It's part of this reverse psychology bizarre charm he's got. When he's in one of his hyper Rentaro moods, it's like hanging out with a puppy. Except Rentaro is housebroken, and he doesn't go all crazy when there's a cat outside. Well, most times he doesn't.
Do you see Rentaro much?
Oh yeah, he loves the city. He's here every chance he can get.
Do you know why he's so eager to move to the city?
Oh, he's been that way forever. When we were kids, he and I used to jump on the train the second my mom turned her back. We weren't supposed to go into the city unsupervised, so Miss I'd rather break a bone than a Rura Miwako never came. Although, maybe she was right about that. We got in so much trouble every time.
Yeah.
Do you know what Rentaro wants to do once he moves to Kyoto?
Tech something? I sort of don't listen to him when he's being boring about things.
Do you believe that the Ryokan is haunted?
I do. It's not just haunted. There's something else strange going on there.
What do you mean?
Look, I don't want to freak you out, but between you and me, the haunting is nothing compared to some of the other strange stuff going on over there. Last time I visited, it was late at night, and I was out in the garden and something was off. I could just feel it. All of a sudden, there was this loud shriek and this flash of light.
And then?
And then, Nancy Drew, I saw aliens. Dozens of them. They had come to visit all of their ghost friends.
Okay, I get it. You don't believe in haunting.
I really don't. Sorry.
But you have to admit that things have been pretty strange since your mother...
I told you I didn't want to talk about that.
Jeez, Nancy. Anything for me?
Hi.
I'll do this one.
I know what happened to your mother.
I told you to...
It was an accident. I think you, all of you, blame yourselves.
It wasn't an accident. But since you won't let it drop, you want to know why we all blame ourselves, Nancy?
Why?
Because we were all here. We were all here that night, and not one of us helped her. We all just let her die alone.
But you didn't know.
Leave me alone, Nancy.
That would definitely weigh heavy on everyone.
Can't check that off yet.
What time is it? 8:05 p.m. So it's still like... Let's see if we can just set the time to 1 a.m. and then come downstairs.
4 is supposed to be an unlucky number here. I wonder if that's a coincidence. That wasn't red before.
Oh, 2 bad looks in a row. Okay, let's make it bang on 1 a.m. Yep, she's gone.
Who's my favorite robotic cat?
Yeah,
Suki, Tate.
Cute. Not so cute. Okay, so we'll have to find a thing that makes her stop. Yeah, find a way to tame her. It sounds weird to tame a robot.
Looks like I'll need a password.
Password. Password. Okay, we'll have to go searching for that one. Okay, so it's down here. Okay, so it looks like we need a key, one more key card. Krollmeister card 3000. Having difficulty remembering all those number security codes? Worry no more. Introducing the Krollmeister card 3000, the latest and state-of-the-art key card security systems. Our system uses an 8x8 grid with a unique colored entry code designed by the user. The colors are then split and encoded onto 5 key cards by our team of specialists, with extra squares on each card for added security. To open the secured compartment, place the key cards into the slots in the correct layering order and rotate their displays until they match the entry code pattern. Yeah, that seems more complicated than just remembering a key code. Take the K's tea ceremony supplies. Oh, well, we'll definitely be closed now, so we can't even check that out. Oh, there's their mum. Okay. I'm gonna put us back into our death room with our futon out. Okay, so we have a small list of things we want to get done. I will actually be leaving this episode here tonight. I'm gonna get ready for work in the morning, so I'm gonna get up at 6. Gonna love that. So I'll probably be doing part 2 in the next couple of days. We'll see how we go. So, yeah, bye for now. Catch you on the next time. Pocket Potato, good snooping. Thank you. I'll catch you later. Thank you for hanging out with me for a couple hours. Have a good night. You too. Oh no, you're in America. Have an amazing day. Have a great day. Bye!